Hey guys, King of Charmander here. Today I'll be a judge, jury, and analyst, and this Battle Shoutcast features my best budget team for Great League Remix. Low-key note, this team actually made top 5 in the top Great League Remix teams of all time. I'm actually happy. I'm really glad I called this team just because all of them are actually super cheap. If you are like Oliver Twist and you are like, sir, can I please have some more? And what I mean by that is your Stardust. Wow, I do a pretty good British accent. Anyways, as you see here, if you need more Stardust or if you need a cheap, all 3 of these Pokemon should last you or have long-term use, and they've been relevant for multiple seasons, so they do have future use. This is Charizard lead, Obstagoon, Say Switch, and Whiscash as your closer. This is Obstagoon with Hyper Beam. You can also use Charizard with Dragon Breath. You can use Wing Attack Zard as well. It's totally up to you. I like Fire Spin personally just because there's a lot of process running around, plus you can encounter some Abomasnow, so if you voted for Obama and you see a Charizard, it's not going to be Mount Rushmore because you're going to get blown. Charizard's going to burn you down, okay? Plus, it's my boy's final evolution, Charmander. I can't hate. Charizard is goated. Absolutely freaking goated. There are other cool stars out there, but for me personally, Charmander, yeah, 4 years old, was what I chose. Anyways, this team is insanely powerful. As you see, good coverage, good bulk, great safety, and great consistency. Now, the thing about it is, the reason why this team is so powerful is because it does so much damage. That's really why it does so much. And it does its teams basically kill Diggersby. So, as you see here, you're going to annihilate Diggersby. You do also really well against a lot of the meta. You can choose to sacrifice Charizard, break shields, and then you can just destroy everything with Obstagoon, Whiscash in the back with shield or energy advantage. Obstagoon with... You're going to see Hyper Beam Obstagoon is like the best Say Switch in the world. At least that's my opinion. I love yelling get beamed, and Obstagoon will be, you'll see a lot of instances where Obstagoon will be able to take switch just because I literally beam through shields. Of course, there are a few Pokemon that could really give you a problem. Of course, anything Charizard is weak to, and of course, my back row sees like something like a Superior, etc. But as you see here, this team is, even though this team does have a lot of things that can core break it, like I said, you can sacrifice Charizard and lead. Obstagoon is a fantastic Say Switch. Whiscash is a great generalist against the meta. This team is extremely flexible. Yes, its grades are kind of on the low side, but this team is actually, well, it is one of the top 5 teams statistically for Great League Remix. So, statistically, it's literally a top 5 team, and all of these are budget Pokemon. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, so for my first match, I have Charizard into Obama. So remember what I said, if you vote for Obama, you're going to get burned down? Well, this is a great lead for us. My opponent's probably going to switch out immediately, or after they take a couple of Fire Spins. I have no idea why my opponent is staying in right now. If it's a Shadow Abomasnow, you can put pressure with Weather Ball, but as you see here, Weather Ball doesn't KO Charizard, so... Since it doesn't KO, my opponent elects to switch now, and I'm pretty sure that was a Frostless I saw, so this is a double Ice team. This is why I like Charizard with Fire Spin, just because, as you see here, you have a really strong matchup against Ice types, like basically the 2 you just saw here. Obstagoon also has a very strong matchup against Frostless because of Night Slash, especially if you boost. So I'm going to switch into Obstagoon. Again, you kind of want to leave Whiscash as your closer because there's a lot, like, for example, if you get Charmers versus Obstagoon, it's going to be terrible. That's why most of the time you're going to be throwing Obstagoon, or just if, like, 9 times out of 10, like, in the closer, just throw Obstagoon in. Yes, in the back you might see an Ice type, but grass types are very unlikely in the back for this meta. Seen a few, but not enough to make you scream, oh crap, unless it's like an Abomasnow in the back that's about to ball out on you. In other words, it's a 3-point contest. You will not be winning that contest, unfortunately. Abomasnow will be in the MVP, and you will lose. As you see here, we're just going to straight Night Slash. That's what you're going to do mostly against Frostless. You're not going to, unless you're trying to troll, you're not going to Hyper Beam Frostless. Our opponent elects to switch out here. This is kind of a smart switch on their part, just because, of course, like, I don't know if I win CMP or not, and as you see here, they get to a move before I do. Which, in fact, they do win CMP, despite the fact that I have a really crappy Obstagoon, which really surprises me. However, they do not fire Night Slash. They actually fire... Yeah, they don't fire Cross Chop. They actually fire Night Slash. So, I will live that, fortunately, just because it's resisted. I'll fire Night Slash at them, and I will let my Obstagoon Dome down. I just need to keep switch here, and pretty much this is GG's. As you see, I'm going to send in my Whiscash. Whiscash is going to fire off a Mud Bomb, and then I'm going to have to Blizzard the Charizard in the back. Just because Charizard still has a decent chunk of HP. Mud Bomb is double resisted because of flying, so you don't want... it kind of sucks that you're going to have to risk the Biscuit that much, but you know what? The risk is mighty, and the risk will pay off. As you see here, this will be the Mud Bomb of all ages. We will move the Earth just like California's earthquakes. Yes, I live in California, so it kind of sucks. I'm going to send in Charizard because my opponent sends in there's Abomasnow, as you see here, and they catch the Dragon Claw on their Frostless. This is kind of strange, just because this is probably going to kill your Frostless, and then and then I just burn you down, and that's GG's. So that was, again, it was a sweet lead, but I like Fire Spin Charizard, again, because it does so well against the Ice types, and as you see here, it worked really well for us. For battle number 2, we got Tropius in the Charizard. This is also a positive matchup for us. Whiscash is weak to grass types like Tropius, so Fire Spin will allow you to beat a lot of them. As you see here, Wing Attack also does the same thing, but you know, I like Fire Spin just because of that coverage you get with Ice types as well. We're going to attempt to bait a shield here. This is why we're going for the Dragon Claw. The baits are mighty. Most of the time when you play Charizard, you're gonna, I would go for the baits more than Blast Burn, unless you are really confident your opponent is not going to shield. I mean, there's either one, there's no wrong answer either way, but yeah, just be careful. As you see, our opponent switches into Sableye, Tropius, and Sableye is a very super meta core. Sadly for our opponent, we have an Obstagoon, and Obstagoon is insanely well against Sableye. The only move that Sableye has, or Purified Sableye has, that can actually do damage against you is Return. Other than that, we do resist Foul Play, as well as triple resist these Shadow Claws. That's why we're doing no damage against me right now. I will shield. I don't think do I shield? I don't remember. I do shield this one because I sense it's a return, and it is a return. You can choose either way, but, oh, now I remember. So, I'm gonna Night Slash here. They're probably gonna let this go, and then I want to keep all this. You're gonna see what happens next. Anyways, this should take out their Sableye with this Night Slash. They're gonna send in Tropius. I predict they send in Tropius, and here's what I'm gonna do. You see me tapping on that Night Slash? I'm not gonna go for Night Slash. You see, at a certain range, Hyper Beam Obstagoon gets stabbed, so you get same type attack bonus. So because of that, Hyper Beam does a ton of damage, especially considering mine's is a really crappy Obstagoon, because I was using this Obstagoon for the catch up. As you see, I will get to the Hyper Beam. It will go off, and this will in fact kill a Tropius at half HP in the yellow. It's pretty nuts. Get beamed, you flying banana ball chinny, and then it's a Registeel, and Registeel dies. It's that simple. As you see, we have Charizard, and even if Charizard can't come through for some reason, Whiscash is here. Whiscash has an extremely strong match against the Trash Can here, but Sudachan will go down, and this is GG's. But, again, Hyper Beam Obstagoon is, amazing. As you saw there, we Hyper Beam through a shield, which was freaking beautiful. I will get 2 Night Slashes off here. This is pretty much game. I don't know why opponent is staying in here. You're wasting both of our times because there's no way your Trash Can... Well, they actually do... This is actually still... There's actually still... Might be still hope, but in a sense, not really. As you see, I will combo in to destroy my opponent's... Any hope my opponent has of coming on with a W. They'll either let this one through, or they will attempt to shield. And they do not. They let it through, and that's GG's. That sweet combo... I just... You know... He's already dead. He has a family, but unfortunately... You know, family is not as good, and it's not... Family doesn't save anything, just like the Fast and Furious series. Damn, that was cool. Anyways, as you see, we lose lead terribly here. We have a Dragonite versus Charizard. Now, this Shadow Dragonite matchup is actually terrible for us, because Dragon Breath 1 does so much damage, and as you see, by the time I got to a Dragon Claw, I'm already in the yellow, so this kind of sucks. Also, this Dragonite did win CMP, so I'm in a lot of trouble right now. We're just going to bust a bunch of shields here. This is going to be a really rough, this is already a really rough matchup. I'm already going to give up Charizard. As you see, my opponent is even sweeter because they catch the Dragon Claw. As you see here, which is still pretty good. I will send in Obstagoon, however. Obstagoon has a Actually, no, I think I'm going to send in Obstagoon, and then Obstagoon has a fantastic matchup against Diggersby. And Earthquake won't do a ton of damage here, but what I do is actually pretty ballsy. So this is going to be very interesting. As you see, this is probably going to be an Earthquake. Earthquake does big damage, but we can survive it. I'm going to go for the Night Slash here. I'm not going to be able to get to a Hyper Beam. I tried to get the Hyper Beam just for the means, but Hyper Beam takes a while to get to. It takes like 12 counters, I believe, because counter is 7 energy, Hyper Beam is 75 energy. Well, 70 or 75. I'm pretty sure it's 75. But as you see here, we are going to literally punch the unholy crap out of this poor buddy. I'm going to shield this next one. Sadly, it's a Fire Punch. I did need to shield that, but it's perfectly fine. I just want to keep all this energy for what my opponent's going to send in next. I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to Night Slash here because they send in the Dragonite. This, I could have gone for Hyper Beam, but I don't think I will. I don't think I would ever make it just because Shadow Dragon Breaths do so much damage. My opponent is forced to shield the Night Slash here, and they send in a Ninetales. This is actually kind of terrible for us, just because if this Ninetales gets enough energy, Wishcash can get yeeted by one Solar Beam, so I'm kind of terrified right now. As you see, Night Slash does go off, and then I will send in my Wishcash. It does take a while for them to get to Solar Beam, because Solar Beam still takes a quite, like, I think Solar Beam's 70 energy, I believe, or 75 energy, so you guys gonna take quite a minute before you get to a beam. Because of that, this Mud Bomb should kill, and then after that, I literally have to send the power of the North. I watch a lot of Game of Thrones. I don't watch a lot of Game of Thrones. I haven't watched the spin-off series yet, but you know what? I watched Game of Thrones. I watched all series. I know who Jon Snow is, and I'm about to go I'm about to go to the North and summon all of the power I have in the North. I will go to Winterfell, and I will ask Jon Snow to come with me. And this is GG's. Bye, Dragonite. If your name is Felicia, Felicia has been yeeted by the Blizzard, and that's GG's. That was a terrible lead for us, but you know what? Because Wishcash is a beast and it did so well against their back row, we got the GG. Team number 4 is Jellicent versus Charizard. Why do I keep freaking losing leads? This is a terrible lead. It's actually a really terrible lead. As you see, I will instant switch to Obstagoon just because this is terrible. Obstagoon is your safe switch. As you see, my opponent is staying in here with their Jelly, and I have no idea why, but this is probably a Bubble Beam, so that's why they're going to debuff me, and then they're going to swap. As I correctly predicted, they swap into a Mandibuzz. Now this is where, okay, so this is insane, and I didn't know this. This is the battle where I learned that if you Hyper Beam -1, watch how much damage this does. It's still freaking ridiculous. Hashtag get beamed. Hyper Beam takes out -1, literally more than half of this Mandibuzz's health. It's freaking ridiculous. Obstagoon is busted. -1 with Hyper Beam, and as you see here, thanks to landing that Hyper Beam, I actually could just go straight. I can go straight Night Slash here. If I do boost, that's great. If I don't, I can pretty much let Obstagoon go. But as you see here, that was just pretty nuts. Like, it's nuts how powerful Hyper Beam is. And as you see here, if you're able to Hyper Beam through shields, it creates you so many scenarios where you can get the W. This Night Slash will go off. I'm hoping I can boost because this won't KO. I do not get the boost, sadly. And then, as you see, I'm frantically smashing for this Night Slash. I'm not going to get it, unfortunately. I do believe, I think I do shield here just because I want Switch. I really, really want Switch just because I don't want my Charizard going against that Mandibuzz. As you see, I'm going to attempt to farm down entirely, and I do. So I win back Switch, and I have a ton of energy on this Obstagoon. They send into Jellicent, which kind of blows my mind because I'm like, you know, Jellicent's Hex is triple resisted actually. So, triple down, as you see here, these Night Slashes will go off. My opponent's likely gonna shield both of these just because this does big damage against Jellicent, and they probably don't like what I have in the back. So as you see, they do double shield my Night Slashes, and I think what they're trying to do is actually they're gonna try and farm me down. They give it a shot, but as you see here, they fire their move, which is actually the right move in my opinion, because you don't want it's really rough to farm down a Obstagoon with a Jellicent. I'm going to send in Wishcash here. Daddy Cash will probably eat a Shadow Ball. This will be an Hadouken. The Dark Hado will come through, and it's probably going to hurt a lot, and I'm glad I was wrong because it's a Bubble Beam. My opponent is going to Bubble Beam me down, and this is really interesting because the thing is, Wishcash machine guns these Mud Bombs, so Machine Gun Mud Bomb is actually a lot stronger than a Bubble Beam Jellicent. So, sorry, Mr. Pringles, it's not going to happen today. I know they changed your logo and everything. I know you got 17 different flavors or more. 69 would have been more... 69 would definitely have been the better number to go up to. As you see, I will eat a Shadow Ball, however, and I'm still frantically tapping on Mud Bomb just so I can get off. If I can get one more Mud Bomb off, this should KO. And then my opponent has something in the back. I'm not sure they won't like... I'm not sure if Charizard has good match up, but let's hope that with a shield that I can come out with a W. As you see, I will be able to get to the Mud Bomb here. Hopefully, this KOs my opponent. So, firing the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb is debuffed right now, so hopefully this does go through, and hopefully it KOs, and it does. I switch into Charizard, and it's a Diggersby. This is GG's. Charizard beats Diggersby convincingly, especially up a shield. So, I'm either going to use one of the most powerful, well, I'm going to use one of the most powerful community moves of all time, and I'm going to burn it down. Burn you down like a Seth Rollins entrance on, well, at WrestleMania. Please don't take me down for copyright, WWE. But anyways, yes, if you are a wrestling fan, I did just quote, like, Seth Rollins. Yes, the Shield was a great faction, but, you know, Kenny Omega's better, just saying. Anyways, as you see here, we will be able to get to a Dragon Claw, and instead of prolonging this matchup, my opponent does elect to quit, which is GG's. Would have been a rough match for them. There's no way they would have won in that scenario regardless, unless Go Battle, I took my soul. Next, I lose the lead again. Nidoqueen versus Charizard. This is actually a terrible matchup for us just because Charizard in Great League is very glassy. Because of that, Nidoqueen can Poison Jab and Poison Fang and sway to victory, which is really terrible. As you see here, I'm just going to let Charizard go. I'm going to try to get to a... I'm going to try to bust some shields here. So I'm going to fire this Dragon Claw. I'm almost going to fire another one, but Nidoqueen does convincingly win against Charizard. So we're just going to try to break as many shields as we possibly can here. I break one shield. As you see here, we're going to try to break the second one. We should get to 2 Dragon Claws. As you see here, we get to the second one before Poison Fang does go off. And our opponent's probably going to like to farm me down. So this is already a rough matchup for us regardless. So Dragon Claw does go up. And they catch it on a Jellicent, which is really interesting. Why would you do that, good sir? Because now I'm locked. This Jellicent is locked into my Obstagoon. That was a terrible decision by my opponent. You really don't lose anything by just letting Charizard, by just not, like, there was no reason to give up Switch, as you see here. Instead, I have Obstagoon on this Jellicent, and Obstagoon has such an obscenely great matchups that I don't have to shield anything here. I can eat Shadow Balls, I can eat Bubble Beams as well, which is probably what it's going to be, unless it's an Ice Beam. That was perfectly on cue. Anyways, as you see here, Ice Beam doesn't do a ton of damage. It literally takes 3 Ice Beams to kill me. I get one more counter over for energy, and then I fire off Night Slash. Again, this was a terrible move my opponent. You just switch locked your Jellicent into my Obstagoon. Obstagoon will Night Slash through. We win back switch, and we still have shields. And I get the boost! Let's go, baby! You already know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to shield everything. And then I'm going to boosted slash the crap out of this poor Nidoqueen. You made the queen, but on this day, you are not the queen. I will give you biscuits. I will give you chips, but unfortunately, you will be getting biscuits instead of chips. Chips are fries in England, by the way. I have been to England. I was deployed on there when I was in the Air Force. I deployed to England for a contingency operation. It was a very fun time. And it was... That place was all... You know, there's a lot of things that happen. But anyways, as you see here, we have Nidoqueen versus Obstagoon. That's boosted, by the way. And these boosted counters are doing a lot of damage. I will be able to get to another one. And my opponent perfectly catches this Night Slash. It's boosted, though. So, you know, this is going to hurt a lot still. Night Slash should go through. And then I believe I just keep beating the holy crap out of this poor Loch Ness monster. Yes, I will get farmed down. But as you see here, I'm going to switch right before it dies. Just because... I'm going to get to 2 Mud Bombs. Basically, what I didn't want to happen was if this is a Skull Bash Lapras, I didn't want this Lapras to get a ton of energy. So I'm hopefully going to try to get 2 Mud Bombs before it can get to a Skull Bash. Because Skull Bash takes, I believe, 7 or 8 Ice Shards to get to. So it takes a while. As you see here, I'm correct. And Mud Bomb is so fast because of 9 energy. 9 energy! And it's 35 Energy Fire Mud Bomb. So it's very, very quick. As you see here, this will take out the Lapras. And I should be able to get to another Mud Bomb to close out this match. This is GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. Again, Nidoqueen versus Charizard sucks, but actually, even though we lost the lead, we took the matchup. Obstagoon, Hyper Beam, Safe Switch, Charizard lead, and Wish Cash to close out. Daddy Cash will take all your money, by the way. Thank you for giving me all your ELO, and that's GG. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, but the greatest thing is this is the first time I've seen a budget team rank so high on PvPoke.com and just statistically do so well. Again, this is Charizard lead, Obstagoon Safe Switch, and Wish Cash as your closer. As you see here, Hyper Beam Obstagoon performs ridiculously well. If you go for the beam and if they don't shield it, you can take back Switch in a lot of scenarios. As you see, we took back Switch against a... I didn't know this until that battle, that a -1 Obstagoon, as far as attack goes, can still do that much damage with a Hyper Beam on a Mandibuzz. Mind you, my Mandibuzz is no slouch. It has a pretty thick booty, and as you see, its booty still got deflated thanks to that Hyper Beam. But again, I run Hyper Beam Obstagoon. The top team didn't run. It ran Cross Chop. But as you see here, I think Hyper Beam Obstagoon is just so good. It's either one scenario you're going to use Night Slash, or the other scenario you're going to Hyper Beam. So I like Hyper Beam Obstagoon and hashtag get beamed. Again, you can use Charizard. Pretty much all of its fast attack variations work. Fire Spin, Wing Attack, or Dragon Breath work really well. So, again, I just like Fire Spin just because of your coverage with Ice types, your coverage against Fire types as well, and just your ability to take on Registeel very handily. Compared to all the other attacks I mentioned to you, Fire Spin does super effective damage against Registeel, so that's why I like Fire Spin a lot. So, again, either way, it's up to you, but this team is insanely cheap, insanely powerful, and all three of these mons do have long-term use. Charizard's been meta since Season 1, Wishcat's been meta since Season 2, and Obstagoon's been meta since it pretty much freaking came out. If you boost with Obstagoon or you beam with Obstagoon, it's a great feeling, and hopefully this really cheap team will get you a lot of W's because it is a top 5 team for Great League Remix, statistically. So it's proven to get you a lot of dubs. If you guys could do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe. It's totally free. You can easily subscribe by putting your mouse on that little box at the bottom right that says subscribe, and you can easily subscribe from there. Really do appreciate you guys. It really helps my goal for 3K subs by the end of the year as well. Again, liking and subscribing is totally free, and it would totally help my channel out, so please consider subscribing. For all my subscribers already subscribed, I really do appreciate you. Thank you for all for love and support, and thank you for being on this during the entire time. Good luck in your Battle League sets. Hopefully this budget team does help you out and gets you a lot of dubs and saves you a lot of Stardust, because it will, and I will see you on the next video.
Ciao!